Hello and welcome back to our live coverage here at reInvent. I am A.M. Grabelny, one of your hosts, joined by my buddy.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they put us up here together.
I know. Why did they plan on doing that?
Brave. They're brave.
Right? Well, now we're not on tiny little cubes. We're on a big box. Ooh.
No, and we actually
Damn.
could hear each other.
That's what my hair looks like today. Oh, how come no one told me?
All right. So, Kyle, after Thanksgiving, every year I watch the dog show.
The dog show?
The dog show. And let me tell you, first off, oodles of poodles. Buddy.
Oodles of poodles?
Oodles of poodles.
Yeah. What kind of poodles? Short hair, long hair?
Labrapoodle.
Labrapoodles? Sheepapoodles?
Anyway, so the dog show, they got a lot of rules about their dogs.
Okay.
And about like the pedigree of the dog and things like that.
Tell me more.
Which brings me to our next segment here, which is the well-architected tool. Kind of like the dog show for cloud.
It's well-architected.
Is that fair?
I mean,
What do you think? This is something I'm workshopping right now. maybe a new branding for you all.
Yeah,
Probably
we'll
not.
have to think about that
Okay,
one.
all right. You can think of it. Anyway, we've got some friends joining us from the well-architected tool team. Tell us about yourselves, please.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Alana Morris, and I am the product manager for the well-architected tool.
Okay. The dog
And-
show of cloud.
Yes,
Perfect.
exactly.
and I'm Samir Kopal. I lead product and engineering for Well Architected.
Okay, all right. So where do we want to start? Do we want to start with the tool? Do we want to start with the framework? What do you think?
So let's start with talking about the framework,
Okay.
right? And we've made some new enhancements to it. So the framework has some good guidance out there. Go check it out.
Okay.
And let's do a little demo and talk about the new feature that we have.
We're jumping right to the demo.
Wow.
Let's
I
do
like
it.
He's eager.
Wow.
He's an
I
eager
like the
dog.
style of this. This is wonderful.
I think
Straight to the demo.
Yeah, let's go. Do you want to talk about the framework more?
Dude, I feel
No,
like
I want to see it.
Yeah, let's see it.
You're right.
He's ready to bring the Thunderdome to you, AM.
Yeah.
I'll show you the demo right now.
It's like maybe the sports dogs,
Yeah.
you know?
No,
Like-
we're show dogs.
This
They're all show
yeah.
dogs.
Yeah,
They're
we're
all show dogs.
I'd be a golden
But they got
retriever if I were a
categories.
dog.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it.
The sports dogs, they're very active. They're very fast.
What kind of dog would you be if you were a dog, AM?
I'd be a cat. Obviously.
That's a very cat-like answer.
It is. Anyway, so it sounds like we're jumping right to the demo. So tell us as we get into the demo and pull up your screen, how does the well-architected tool and the well-architected framework, what's the coalescence?
Yeah, great question.
Coalescing place, yeah.
So the well-architected tool is a way that you can actually review your workloads against the well-architected framework.
Okay.
So that's an element of how you can actually review your architecture against the AWS best practices.
Nice.
There's actually broader guidance that you can also explore when you're doing the well-architected review, which is one of the features that we want to talk to you about today called Lens Catalog.
Oh.
And so that expands the breadth and depth of what you can actually access in the well-architected tool, where you can actually see technology and domain best practices to actually review against your workload as well. So I'll show you that in the demo.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
This is related to custom lenses. Is that?
These are
yeah,
custom
so
lenses.
yeah, so what happened is when we launched custom lenses, one of the things that we realized was there's so much knowledge out there that people want to share on top of Well Architected because it's specific to a technology or domain. And we started seeing all these lenses popping up everywhere, and we said, it's a good way to start sharing that knowledge across. So that's where we said, let's take the same structure that we have for custom lenses and build it into a lens catalog where people have access to these pre-built lenses that they can add in. So we have subject matter experts at AWS who build these lenses for us, and we put it out there in the lens catalog so you can now pick and choose what you want to add on top of Well Architected.
Now you're the dog show judge.
Yeah.
Now
Yes, I
you're
am.
the dog show
There you go.
judge.
It's a 10 on 10.
Love it. Yeah, that's what you give the tool.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I give it to them.
Yep.
Yes.
You're not biased.
Not biased at
Give
all.
it a 10.
10. Yes.
A 10.
10.
All right. So
all right.
how do we use this?
All right, so you go ahead and start using the tool by defining your workload. and you want to enter some metadata to help you identify, the type of workload that you're reviewing. So I'm just filling it out here, and you want to fill in some important elements like if your workload is in production or pre-production, what region your workload runs in. You have the option to add in your account IDs or your application ID, which will help you actually activate an integration that we have with Trusted Advisor. When you enable the Trusted Advisor feature, you can actually see resource level checks mapped to well-architected best practices that allow you to help you identify if you are or are not following some well-architected best practices. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to define my workload. And this is where you're brought to a screen where you can actually apply a profile. So Profiles is something that we launched to help customers actually tell us a little bit more about their business context and what's important to them when they're doing a well-architected review. And so if you actually create a profile, we ask you questions like, where are you in your cloud architecture journey? What's most important to you? And if you apply the profile to your well-architected review, we prioritize a list of questions that you can actually start with so that you're aligned to how you're actually answering the well-architected questions.
It's meeting the customer where they're at.
Correct.
And so it's not just like hey, here's a framework that it's a one-size-fits-all thing. It's you have a unique industry, you're at this unique position of your journey, and let's go.
Yeah, so the thing is all the best practices are important at some point of time, but if you throw all 60 at them and say, you got to go fix all of this together, it's overwhelming, right? So they need a way to prioritize, and the best way is to know what context it is in. So the business context helps us do that. And we prioritize the questions. It can change as you change the profile.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Exactly. So today we're not focused on profiles, but it does exist. And now I want to show you Lens Catalog. So you can see here, I know you had mentioned custom lenses before. So custom lenses will now appear in this top section here, still accessible to customers who want to input their own best practices to use as an overlay to the well-architected tool. And here, you'll actually see a wide variety of different lenses now that we have. So everywhere from the healthcare industry lens to the IoT lens, data analytics. These are different, technology and domain topics that we know customers want to also focus on when they're doing their well-architected review. So now you can actually go ahead and browse this catalog and choose whichever lenses are relevant to the type of workload that you are actually reviewing.
I noticed too the AWS official content.
It must be official.
So
yeah,
official.
It's a stamp.
It's official.
Right there. Does that mean that at some point in the Lens catalog, you might feature other content developed by
You
other
never
people?
know. Yeah. You never know. So it's just a start where we want to explore what kind of lenses come up, and as we've always heard, and done things that the customers want.
You never know.
If that's what we can scale through, then that's what this becomes.
Hey, I'm in the partner network. Just got to shout out partners.
Yeah.
They're out there. Anyway.
Possibility.
So I've selected a few of the lenses within the Lens catalog, and when I go ahead and define my workload, now I'll actually be able to see that they are accessible to me, and I can actually go in and start answering questions from those lenses that I've added.
Very nice.
Yeah. So once you go in, it's a very similar experience to answering, the questions as you have today, except the focus is on whatever lens you've applied. So then you can go ahead and, fill out the well-architected review as you would, and, continue the review.
Very cool.
That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Who is authoring this content internally at AWS?
Yeah, so we have a bunch of people. We have solution architects who author. There are subject matter experts, like people who are specialist solution architects or TAMs,
Nice.
technical account managers.
Nice.
So they have a lot of knowledge working in a certain industry or in a technology.
Right.
Service teams want to contribute lenses as well,
Oh,
right?
nice.
Like, hey, you could have an EC2 lens. Or
Yeah,
an
I
S3.
meant serverless
Yeah,
lens
exactly.
that I saw there. Yeah.
Exactly.
So if a dog show one pops up, we know that AM got
Yeah,
hands to the
yes.
keyboard.
We somehow let him in.
Yes.
I don't think that's going to happen. I have never been granted
Listen,
access.
it started a little rough around the edges, but I think it's working out.
but
Is that RUFF? Is that
yeah.
that kind of
Oh.
rough? Okay.
I
All
want to
right.
say a pit bull is pretty well architected.
Yeah.
What have I done?
What have we started?
What have I done?
Who let the dogs out?
Oh.
Woof.
Oh my gosh.
Woof.
AMD.
Lenses. Well-architected framework.
All right.
All right.
We got to get this back onto the track here. Okay.
5 pillars.
Six.
Yeah.
Six pillars.
6. There. What's the 6th?
Sustainability.
Sustainability.
Oh. When was that introduced? Because the well-architected framework is how old now?
The framework's almost coming up on 12 years.
12
and
How about the
years.
tool?
the tools, 5 years in a couple days.
A couple days.
A couple days, 5 years.
Happy birthday to
Launched.
Tool.
You're gonna make me do math. 2018. Then?
2018, yes.
Okay. I was here.
Yes.
There you
I
go.
was
So,
right here.
So
in
was I.
2018. So
I don't
Happy
even know
birthday,
where I was yesterday,
well-architected
so.
tool.
I don't know where I am right now, but I knew where I was
Who
in
are you?
2018.
That is excellent.
So
5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
5 years at the tool.
Yeah. I mean,
What's
you know,
been the progression? What as since you just said you've been there the whole time? What's been your favorite part of that journey?
I think as we see the tool, it's gone from being these are foundational best practices that people want to follow to it's evolved with how our customers have. They've become more mature about building in the cloud, right? What used to be, oh, I need to encrypt data at rest is now tribal knowledge.
Yeah.
So now the way they use the tool is they take the well-architected tool as a foundational mechanism and then just add on top. So that's where we've made it more, where you can customize it, you can personalize it, get more prescriptive guidance out of it. So I've seen the tool evolve to a point where, customers can really make the well-architected review their own versus that one-size-fits-all when we started.
Right, which is a great plug for the catalog, right?
It is, exactly.
And being able to find that content that's specific to you.
Exactly.
Very nice. So when you look at this, right, with an industry specific lens, can we take a look at one of those? Can we look at I saw a healthcare one.
Sure, yeah. So this is a great plug to say that you can always go in and add or remove lenses from the lens catalog.
That's cool.
So we can go ahead and select that one now, and I'll go ahead and come back here, and we can go into the healthcare lens.
I saw a button that I would like to take a look at after this.
Sure.
Sorry, shiny things. Again, very simple.
What kind of dog would you be, Kyle? Because you're clearly a dog.
A golden retriever.
Yeah, that's right.
Great choice. So you can see here that this healthcare industry lens is actually organized with the same well-architected pillars, which is not always the case for all of the lenses within the lens catalog, but sometimes they do align to the well-architected pillars. And so as you go through all of the different questions here, it'll be more specific to working in the healthcare industry. So.
Right.
That's a little dive in there.
Yeah, like you can see, a lot of this is compliance focused, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Healthcare, pretty regulated, a lot of compliance needs. So that's the direction we headed with this in terms of how do people track and measure and improve on these compliance needs that they have.
Yeah, for sure. What was the button you wanted to see?
Improvement plan.
Sure. So let me answer a few questions here so that I can get you to an improvement plan. So you can see here that we give you a risk count based on how you've answered the questions. And so anytime that you have a risk, we're always going to give you some recommended improvement items for how you can actually
This feels very
remediate that.
familiar to you, I'm sure, doesn't it?
This is so near and dear to my heart.
Yeah, this is what he lives in
Yeah,
day to day.
I
He's
love
a
this
security.
stuff. Oh yeah, I'm a senior security solution architect that specializes in threat detection and incident response. Boom.
Wow,
I say
that's
that.
a mouthful.
It is.
This looks just like a vulnerability
I
management.
also say just chief chaos officer.
But maybe you can write a lens for us sometime.
Maybe.
That'd be great.
Dog
Yeah.
show list?
Doc show
This is how we get it
Yeah.
in. You
There we
tell
go.
him it's security. It's really dog show.
Yeah, those improvement plans will be worth reading.
Yeah, there we go. No, but what I think is powerful about this, and this, may not necessarily be a new, unless this is part of the lens, right?
So go ahead.
It's always been there. So the
It's always
improvement
been there?
plans are the how you actually go and improve to meet the best practice.
The fact that I did not know that was there, but one of the questions is, okay, we have a problem. How do we fix it? This gives them those tools and the resources needed instead of just saying, hey, this is a high risk. You're out of luck. Good luck. Have fun.
Exactly.
You're off to the races or the dog show.
Exactly.
But
And actually, now that we're talking about improvement plans, I think I have something that will excite you as well. So you can actually see a consolidated view of all of your risks across all of your workloads. So you can see here that I have about 4 workloads, and I can see that a lot of my risk lies within security, right? But what is that?
they should talk to a security essay.
Yes. So what does that actually mean for me? It's, okay, now I can scroll down and I can see all of the different improvements that I can actually make and how many workloads that applies to. So I'm helping myself by saying, okay, by doing this one improvement, it's actually going to help me in 2 of my workloads.
This could also help highlight like systemic issues throughout an organization. Like why is every workload we have this,
Yes.
you know, particular risk associated with everything? It's like, oh, that's because we
Because
didn't
we hired him.
because we hired AM.
Yeah.
This is exactly the use case, right? You want to run a campaign, a security campaign. We run those all the time, and it's like, you know, this is block software. You cannot use this anymore. It doesn't have the security clearance to do so. You can now have a view where you can say this applies to 7 workloads.
Right. And to your earlier point too, right? Like having something like risk, high, medium, lows, you can't jump in and fix everything all at once,
Correct.
right? This gives you
Yeah,
prioritization.
no bones about it.
And I imagine, let me ask this first before I assume, do the risk, do they change based off of your lens? Like if I'm in healthcare and there's a compliance risk, you know, that's not as impactful to finance, for example, would it be rated at a higher risk?
So not at the moment, because we don't apply the profile to a custom lens. It's applied to well architected,
Got it.
but in the future it might.
Okay, very cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The well-architected tool.
Well, we've got about a minute left.
Should we sing it happy birthday?
I think it's now technically public domain, but I don't remember.
Yes, it is. It is
that's what
not
I
public
thought.
domain.
Yeah.
Yes.
A happy birthday architected tool. There we go.
But you can't sing good morning to all.
Oh, okay, okay.
That has copyrights.
Let's
Smooth
instead.
operator.
Wow, you're just really trying to cost us some money. What about cost optimization? Does that?
Cost optimization.
There we go. Anyway, where do people get started?
I think the best way, it's in the management console, so you can go and define a workload. You know, in the steps of defining a workload, it'll ask you to apply a lens. We'll show you the lenses available in the lens catalog. Take a
love
look at those. It has details. It's got some white papers for some of the lenses. You can read about it.
Wonderful,
the
wonderful.
best way.
There you go. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I think this will turn anybody into a cloud judge, a cloud show judge. Which when are we starting the cloud show?
The cloud show. I don't know when you're ready for it.
How do I get off this planet?
we could judge like dogs, but cloud workloads.
That's the lens. I'm waiting for that
Yeah,
lens
there
to
we
come
go.
up.
I've got my orders. All right,
you go.
stick with us. We'll be right back with more live here at reInvent.